Hey Bricks, it's BrickLi here, and welcome to the ninth episode of Building Mordor in LEGO. And right over here in front of me, I got the Mouth of Sauron in front of the Black Gate. And we're gonna take a look at the Mordor Orcs in front of him. So I actually got a bunch of the Mordor Orcs, a huge army of the Mordor Orcs, as you can see over here. I got Gothmog in front of the Mordor Orc army leading them. And I got quite a massive amount of Mordor Orcs to show you. So these are all official LEGO minifigures, and I got most of these of BrickLink and some other websites. So I'm pretty happy that I can call this a huge Mordor Orc army. And at the beginning of this year, I actually only had around 30 Mordor Orcs, and I've managed to grow that to 86 Mordor Orcs in total, ranging from fully armored Mordor Orcs with the breastplates to archers, as you can see over here, with bow and quiver and such. And then we get some regular Mordor Orcs without any accessories on the torso. On top of that, I also got a lot of Mordor Orcs with the Orc hairpiece over here, as you can see, with the hair and the ears. So I think it is definitely something worth mentioning that I got a lot of Mordor Orcs, and I'm really happy with every single minifigure in front of me. And I'm definitely not done with collecting Mordor Orcs in LEGO, so I'm definitely going to collect a lot more in the near future, but I'm quite happy with the amount of Mordor Orcs I've managed to collect right over here, as you can see. And we're going to move on to another Orc type. But before we do, I actually want to show you that you got two Mordor Orcs within the Orc Forge set and two within, I believe, the Corsair ship. So the highest amount of Mordor Orcs you can get in one single set is two Mordor Orcs. Now you gotta imagine, right over here in front of me, I got 86 Mordor Orcs. So you'd have to buy 43 sets in order to get this high amount of Mordor Orcs. That's just insane in my opinion. So yeah, let me know what you think of my Mordor Orc army over here in the middle in the comment section down below. And of course, be sure to comment your amount of Mordor Orcs in your collection. And right now we're going to move on to my Moria Orc collection right over here. So I actually got 68 Moria Orcs, and I started with around 30 Moria Orcs at the start of this year. I believe even 20 or 30. Something like that. And these orcs only appeared in the LEGO Mines of Moria set. You got two Moria orcs in that set, so you would have to buy a lot of Mines of Moria sets. I only bought two of the official sets. As you can see over here, I got two of the cave trolls. I'm just going to use them as regular trolls in my Building Mordor in LEGO mock. But I'm truly happy with all of the Moria Orcs. As you can see, I got a ton of Moria Orcs, and only one of them is missing the hairpiece, so that's pretty unfortunate. But I'm pretty happy that I missed the hairpiece, because I can now switch up the orcs to have some bold orcs and such, or maybe even add a couple of helmets to my Moria Orc army. But I'm quite happy with all of the Moria Orcs I managed to collect over the past few years. I actually got a big bulk of Moria Orcs this year, so I'm pretty happy with all of the orcs I got right over here in front of me. So yeah, I got 68 Moria Orcs. Moving on to LEGO Gundamat Orcs from the Hobbit theme, we got two different type of orcs. As you can see over here, we got the regular Gundamat Orc, the first one actually LEGO released, and then behind him we got the, second Gundamat Orc LEGO released with the Battle of the Five Armies set. And I actually managed to get 32 of the Gundamat Orcs. As you can see over here, this is a huge force. And I actually only started with around 20 of those, so I managed to get quite a lot as well in this year for my Building Mordor in LEGO series. Of course, I'm going to mix up all of the orcs over here in front of me, so that's truly going to be an epic, army. As you can see, that's already 86 plus 68 plus 32. That's a lot of orcs to, attack the forces of Rohan and Gondor. But I'm quite happy with my Gundamat orcs over here. I especially like the hairpiece on this little special orc over here. I'm quite happy with that hairpiece over here.
Moving on to some other orcs, similar to the Gundamat orcs actually, and the Mordor orcs are the hunter orcs. These really resemble the Gundamat orcs. I think LEGO just decided to create Gundamat orcs a little later in their theme. But I'm quite happy with the Mordor orc head on these figures, because that way I have a bunch of orcs similar to the Mordor orcs right over here. But with different leg printing. And you can see that the only difference is the leg printing. I got some other hunter orcs in over here. You can see these are actually the second type of the hunter orcs. I actually got a couple of them mixed around in my hunter orc pack over here. And I actually managed to get I got 23 of these hunter orcs. Actually got 19 goblins over here, but we're going to take a look at them in a second. But I'm quite happy with my hunter orcs. As you can see, I got a bunch of them, 23 hunter orcs. That's really impressive, considering that you only get 2 hunter orcs in quite a pricey LEGO The Hobbit set. So I'm quite happy with these hunter orcs over here. Of course, you could get this head mold over here, this head print in the Lake Town set from 2014, I believe. And then moving on to the goblins, we got a lot of goblins. As I stated before, I got 19 goblins, and I'm planning to grow my goblin army so I can have a lot of mercenaries from the Misty Mountains to be hired for my huge orc army, so they can actually just sort of function as mercenaries, which you saw in the end of the Battle of the Five Armies movie. That's a sort of idea which I want to use for the goblins in this Battle of the Black Gate. And then we're going to move on to the overview. The total amount of orcs in front of me is 86 Mordor Orcs plus 68 of the Moria Orcs. I got 32 of the Gundamat Orcs right over here in front of all the orcs. On top of that, I got 23 of the Hunter Orcs, and then finally, I'm going to add the 19 goblins, which makes a total of over 220 orcs and goblins. That's a huge army to use for my Battle at the Black Gate mock, but I stated before that I have a lot of Yurakai, so we're going to take a look at the Yurakai right now. So over here, I got my pack of Yurakai without armor, so these are just regular Yurakai with the hairpiece. You could only get this minifigure within the Yurakai army set, so I'm quite happy that I managed to get a lot of these Yurakai. I actually got 29 of these Yurakai without armor and with only the hairpiece. I haven't given them all of the weaponry, because I'm sort of debating which weapons I want to give the Yurakai over here. I'm maybe going to even give a lot of them some axes or some regular orc swords, sort of just have them mixed in with my forces of Mordor, as you can see over here. So yeah, I'm quite sort of debating which weaponry I want to give him. Of course, you can let me know in the comment section down below. But over here behind them, I got a huge bulk of Yurakai, and these are the Yurakai pikemen over here. So I got a lot of Yurakai. These are 50 Yurakai without armor. So I gave him a helmet, and then I removed the breastplates because I want to sort of, integrate them into my Mordor armies over here. And I don't want a fully armored Yurakai army, because that's going to be too similar to the Battle of Helm's Deep, and I really want this to be some sort of special Mordor force. So I got 50 of these Yurakai without the breastplate. And then finally, the biggest part of my Mordor army is, of course, this huge bulk of the Yurakai in full armor. And I actually got over 120 of the Yurakai in full armor. So I got a lot of these minifigures. And I got most of these, actually all of these, from the Yurakai poly bag. So I just remove the spears. I haven't even added all of the weaponry to these Yurakai. They're all just, sort of defenseless against Rohan's armies for now. But I'm quite happy with the amount of Yurakai I managed to collect. As you can see over here, I got a bunch of the Yurakai in full armor, and it's really looking great, as you can see. So I got a lot of Yurakai over here in front of me.
Even though I love the Yurakai in full armor, I think it wouldn't be appropriate to keep all of them in full armor. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of me using full armored Yurakais, and whether or not you want me to keep the Yurakai in full armor over here, this big bulk of 120 Yurakai, or whether you want me to remove the breastplates and just have a Yurakai army with only the helmets and, of course, well, the Yurakai with the hair pieces. So let me know in the comment section down below which Yurakai you want me to use in my building mortar and Lego mock. I actually changed all of the Yurakai heads to without the Hand of Saruman, so they sort of, well, aren't from Isengard. That's what I sort of came up with for the idea of using Yurakai. That's what I need to do. I mean, these are not Yurakai from Isengard, these are from Mordor, because Sauron himself also had Yurakai in his Mordor armies. So I'm quite happy I got this many Yurakai. I mean, it's around 180 Yurakai or something. So that's quite a lot of minifigures over here in front of me. And I'm really thankful for, well, all of the Yurakai I have standing right over here in front of me. These are all of the minifigures I got in my Mordor Orc army. So I got a bunch of Yurakai, Mordor Orcs, Moria Orcs, Goblins, Hunter Orcs, Gundamat Orcs, and of course the Cave Trolls right over there. And here is the overview of all of my Orc and of course Yurakai armies. I got a bunch of minifigs for my Building Mortar and Lego series. And we're actually going to take a look at my Rohan minifigures and of course my Gondor minifigures in a future episode of Building Mortar and Lego. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of my massive Orc and Yurakai collection over here in front of me. Of course, if you did enjoy watching me show you all of my Lego Orcs and Yurakai, leave a thumbs up to support this video. Go subscribe to BrickLi if you are new to my channel, and of course ring that notification bell to stay updated on when I post a Lego The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit video. And I'll see you all in the next episode of Building Mortar and Lego.
It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why